Have you ever felt like you were being quietly pushed aside in your career? Maybe promotions started passing you by. Maybe you were left out of key projects. Or maybe you started hearing words like overqualified, which, let's be honest, is often just a coded way of saying too old. Or perhaps you're feeling a different kind of career uncertainty, like you're ready for a change, but just not sure where to start. If any of that sounds familiar, let me tell you something. You are not past your prime. You are in your power. Women over 50 are thriving in the workforce. We are leading companies, launching businesses at record rates, and bringing wisdom, resilience, and perspective that workplaces desperately need. The key is recognizing your worth, owning your expertise, and strategically positioning yourself for the next chapter of your career. And today, that's exactly what we're going to talk about. Welcome to Aging with Grace and Style, the podcast where we celebrate confidence, reinvention, and living life to the fullest at every stage. I'm Valerie. If you're new here, welcome. If you kick it with me regularly, then welcome back. This is the space where we have real conversations about midlife transitions, personal growth, and making this chapter the best one yet. So grab your coffee, your wine, your tea, whatever you'd like, settle in, and let's talk about how you can make the most of your professional experience and wisdom. Before we dive in, let me tell you why this topic is so personal to me. I have spent over 30 years in the corporate world with nearly 20 years in human resources, where I've seen firsthand what helps professionals and executives advance, pivot, and thrive, and also what holds them back. In today's episode, we're diving into how to leverage your extensive experience and wisdom to transform your career. Maybe you're looking to pivot into a new industry, thinking about starting your own business, trying to stay competitive in your current field, or just wondering how to navigate ageism in the workplace. Whatever your situation, I want you to walk away from today's episode feeling confident and empowered because your experience is not a liability. It's actually your superpower. One of the biggest advantages women over 50 have is experience. But let's talk about how to use it strategically. Many women in midlife successfully pivot into new careers that align with their interests and their strengths. Fields like real estate, financial advising, health and wellness, coaching, personal training, nonprofit leadership, or even counseling are great examples of industries where experience and relationship building skills are highly valued. The key is to identify transferable skills, things like leadership, communication, and problem solving that can help you step into a new role with confidence. I recently talked to Janine, a former marketing executive who completely pivoted at 54 to become a financial advisor. People thought I was having a midlife crisis, she told me with a laugh. But I had spent decades helping companies tell their stories and build relationships with customers. I realized I could use those exact same skills to help individuals navigate their financial journeys. And it's been the most fulfilling chapter of my life. What did Janine do brilliantly? It was that she identified her transferable skills. She didn't just see herself as a marketing person. She recognized her ability to build trust, to communicate complex information clearly, and to develop strategies for long-term success. These skills create value in virtually any industry. If you are contemplating a transition, start by creating what I call a career asset inventory. Instead of just listing past job titles, focus on transferable skills and identify the problems that you've consistently solved. So here's some things to ask yourself. What do colleagues always come to me for? Or what parts of my work energize me rather than drain me? And what skills have I mastered that are valuable across industries? Healthcare, education, financial services, and nonprofits frequently value these soft skills and life experience. And let's not forget, your professional network is an asset decades in the making that you can bring to any new role. Now, did you know that women over 50 are the fastest growing segment of new entrepreneurs? That's right. Midlife is the perfect time to launch a business. By this stage in life, we have problem solving skills, resilience, and an incredible network. We understand how to manage challenges, to make decisions, and to create solutions. These are invaluable skills in entrepreneurship. Take Maria, who spent 30 years as a corporate trainer before launching her own consulting firm at 57. I kept seeing the same organizational problems, creating unnecessary turnover and stress, she explained. I realized I could create more impact by helping multiple companies rather than just working within one. Within 3 years, her firm was generating twice her former corporate salary while allowing her to work on her own terms. The beauty of entrepreneurship after 50 is that you're not starting from zero. You're starting with decades of industry knowledge, professional connections, and a clear understanding of what works and what doesn't. But if full entrepreneurship feels a little too risky, consider what I call the portfolio approach. Consulting or freelancing in your area of expertise while developing a new business concept. This creates income stability while you build something new. One of the biggest advantages women over 50 bring to any workplace is their exceptional soft skills, though I prefer to call them essential skills because there is nothing soft about their impact. Think about it. Emotional intelligence, conflict resolution, strategic thinking, mentoring abilities, crisis management. These are skills that younger professionals simply haven't had enough time to develop. Not saying they won't develop them, but they're usually newer in their career, and some of these skills they mature with us over time. So one of our listeners, Linda, she transitioned from healthcare administration to consulting at 55, and she shared that she initially worried about competing with younger consultants who had more recent training. Then she realized that her clients weren't just hiring her for her technical knowledge. They were desperate for someone who could anticipate problems, navigate sensitive situations, and bring calm to chaos. These were precisely the skills that she had spent decades honing. So here's a tip. When updating your resume or even your LinkedIn profile, don't just list your responsibilities. Highlight situations where your judgment, your emotional intelligence, or your strategic thinking created measurable impact. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, and that's ageism. This tends to come up in thought when we talk about our age and careers and the workplace. It exists. It's frustrating, but it's also something that we can navigate strategically. Let's talk about what ageism looks like, first of all. It could be being overlooked for promotions or job descriptions using coded language like energetic or digital native, or interviewers who are assuming that you're not tech savvy. So how do you combat this? One would be to stay current in your industry by participating in professional groups, continuing education and networking. Keep learning new skills and staying on top of industry trends. Another is to show digital fluency by maintaining an updated LinkedIn profile, engage online, and demonstrate adaptability. And then third would be reframe your experience. So in interviews, emphasize adaptability and problem solving, showcasing examples of how you've thrived through change. So instead of, I have 25 years in marketing, say, I've navigated 5 major industry shifts and helped companies thrive through every one. Margaret, a senior marketing executive, told me that instead of focusing on how long she had been in the field, she highlighted her ability to adapt to changing markets, and that's what got her the job. So let's talk about something critical, and that's staying relevant. It's easy to feel like industries are moving so fast that we can't keep up. But here's the truth. We don't have to know everything. We just have to be willing to learn. A way to stay relevant in the workforce is through continuous learning, whether it's online courses, certifications, or mentorships. Embracing learning keeps you competitive and confident. Honestly, in my humble opinion, continuous learning is non-negotiable. Technology evolves, so job markets shift, but adaptability, that's what makes you irreplaceable. Learning new skills boosts confidence and credibility, helping you to command more respect in the workplace. It signals to employers and to clients that you're forward thinking and you're proactive. Here are 5 practical ways to keep learning. One is micro learning. You don't need to go back to school, but bite-sized courses from LinkedIn Learning, Coursera, Udemy can teach you valuable skills in just a few hours per week. Another is certifications that strengthen your resume. So certifications in coaching or project management, digital marketing, finance, human resources, those can set you apart. Third is to stay tech savvy. Even if you don't consider yourself techie, learning basic AI tools, data analytics, or digital communication platforms can give you a competitive edge. We know that AI is here to stay. So why not embrace it? I was at a meeting the other day, and they asked everyone to stand up if they had used AI at some point. So in the room of well over 100 people, everyone was on their feet. So they went through a series of questions that were regarding your use of AI. And the final question was, if you had used AI in the last 24 hours to remain standing, believe it or not, the majority of the room still remains standing. And I was on my feet for every AI question because I do use it a lot. It is a great tool to help with efficiencies, to help you do research, just even little things like formulating an email, or people are afraid and fear AI that it's going to take their jobs. But in reality, learning to use AI, even at the basic level, is going to be very beneficial to people in their jobs. I think, you know what? I'm going to do an episode about AI in the near future, so stay tuned. Number 4 is reverse mentorship. Younger professionals can teach you just as much as you can teach them. I have had that happen to me recently. So partner with a younger colleague to learn new trends while sharing your strategic and leadership wisdom. It's a win-win situation. And then 5th, there is industry conferences and networking groups. Surround yourself with people who challenge you to grow. Attend conferences, join professional associations, and stay engaged in your industry. Sandra, who is a former operations manager, completed a 6-month data analytics certificate at 56 that allowed her to combine her deep operational knowledge with in-demand technical skills. She wasn't starting from zero. She was adding a new dimension to decades of experience. So, if there's anything that I want you to take away from this segment, is that continuous learning isn't about keeping up. It's about staying empowered. Now let's talk work-life balance. At this stage, many of us just want meaningful work, but not at the expense of our well-being. Flexibility, it isn't a luxury, it's actually a necessity. One of the biggest perks of being over 50 is the ability to create a career that fits your lifestyle, whether that's through consulting, freelancing, part-time work, or negotiating a flexible schedule. You have options. Some flexible career paths to consider are consulting and freelancing. So use your expertise without the full-time grind. Part-time executive roles. Many companies need experienced leaders, but on a part-time basis. That's a win-win. And teaching, mentoring, or board leadership. Give back while you're still earning. I know a woman who left her corporate job and transitioned into a portfolio career at 62. She did part-time consulting, volunteering, and pursuing her passion for freelance writing. Now, she works from home on her terms, setting her own schedule and choosing the projects that she loves. And she said her income actually increased, but more importantly, she created a space for all dimensions of who she is. So here's what I want you to remember. Your career at 50 plus doesn't have to look like it did at 30. You actually get to choose. We have covered so much today. So let's do a real quick recap. Career transitions after 50 are 100% possible. It's about identifying your transferable skills. Entrepreneurship is booming. You're not starting over, you're starting with experience. Soft skills are your superpower. Companies need strategic thinkers, mentors, and problem solvers. And ageism exists, but we can definitely combat it by staying visible, relevant, and confident. And then continuous learning, it keeps you competitive. Investing in new skills doesn't have to be overwhelming. And work-life balance is within reach. Flexible careers allow you to work on your terms. Now, you might be asking, Valerie, what are some next steps? Well, I got you. Number 1 is identify one skill that you can develop this year, whether it's digital tools, public speaking, or leadership training. Number 2 is to update your LinkedIn profile to reflect your strategic strengths, not just your past job titles. Number 3, take control of your next chapter, whether that means reaching out to your network or launching a side hustle or exploring new opportunities. Remember, your experience is not a liability. It's your greatest asset. Own it, use it, and step confidently into your next chapter. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love to hear from you. Send me a DM on Instagram at I am Valerie Hatcher, or share your thoughts in the comments. And if you know another woman who needs this message, my ask is that you please share this episode with her. Until next time, keep thriving, keep growing, and keep embracing the power of your experience. See you later, my friend.